Styles, and you're watching BrettO Live.
What is going on, guys? BrettO Live back with another video, and welcome to the Week in Review, episode 151. This is where we go over Raw and SmackDown in a WWE action figure setup. I talk about the show, tell you what happened, what they should fix, what they should change. So without further ado, let's jump into Monday Night Raw. Over here, we opened up the show with an episode of Kevin Owens' show with special guests, the Alpha Academy. The Alpha Academy come out, confront Seth and Kevin. This promo was okay. I felt it was just a little too cheesy, you know. Chad Gable kept on saying shoosh and shoosh, just way too many shooshes, and it was just cheesy for me. The promo itself, I was not a fan of the promo, but then of course it turned into a match because Chad Gable got that annoying where Kevin Owens had to give him a Stone Cold Stunner, so he dropped Chad Gable. It turned into a 2-on-2 tag team match. It was a fun 2-on-2 tag team match. Good way to open up the show, get the crowd hyped a little bit. I did enjoy the tag match, and even better, we saw Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins pick up the victory in the end, and it's going to be a triple threat tag team match with RK-Bro next week for the Raw Tag Team Championships. That'll be pretty decent, but like I said, I did enjoy this opening match. I thought it was pretty decent. Moving into our next match, yes, I do. I know I have Giant Gonzalez right here, but it was Omos going up against T-Bar. This match was so just lame. I feel like they're trying to use Omos, but it's just not working. The man's not entertaining. T-Bar, he'd be better as Dominic Dijakovic. But yeah, Omos is just not working. He beats T-Bar, dominates him. It's freaking lame as crap. Who cares? Moving over here, it was a 6-woman tag team match. This match was okay. Another match that just had me really bored. Like, I could care less. It was Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair going up against the Women's Champion, Becky Lynch, Nikki Ash, and Doudrop. Again, 6-woman tag team match. Not bad. Like I said, there were some decent spots. But in the end, we saw Bianca Belair pick up the victory. I forgot who she pinned. I believe she pinned Nikki Cross, or Nikki Ash. But before she pinned Nikki Ash, like, she whipped Becky Lynch in the midsection with her braid, which left some pretty insane welts on the stomach of Becky Lynch, which I thought was pretty freaking crazy. I thought that was pretty cool. But as far as the entire match goes, it was pretty mid in my opinion. Moving over here is a one-on-one match, Robert Roode versus Tommaso Ciampa, and I gotta admit, I was looking forward to this match. Of course, this is building up their match that already happened at NXT 2.0. I am filming this before NXT 2.0, so I'm not exactly sure who won. But yeah, anyways, it's gonna be Braun Breaker and Tommaso Ciampa going up against the Dirty Dogs. But as far as this one-on-one match goes, it was pretty mid in my opinion. I really don't like how they introduced Tommaso Ciampa into the main roster. I feel like they could have done it a way better way. I just thought this was a very lame way, bringing him up with the Dirty Dogs going to NXT for a little bit. I just am not a fan of this. In the end, but able to roll up Robert Roode in the end to pick up the victory. Quick 3 count. He was able to pick up the win. Again, like I said, this match was mid. I'm really not a fan of how they're bringing up Tommaso Ciampa. It's just not entertaining, in my opinion, with the Dirty Dogs. I'm not a fan of it. And then right after the match, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode basically just jumped Tommaso Ciampa, build up for their tag team match with Braun Breaker. I could care less. Moving over here, speaking of what I could care less about, oh my god, it was Dana Brooke and Reginald going up against Akira Tozawa and Tamina. This match was freaking lame. Reggie and Dana, I believe, won. I don't care. This 24/7 crap is so freaking bad. But in the end, Dana Brooke and Reggie, they kiss. And I was like, okay. And then Akira Tozawa and Tamina kiss. I'm like, what? This is just, no. They're trying to make the 24/7 title entertaining, and whatever they do, it is just not good. You gotta cancel that belt. It's freaking just embarrassing. It's horrible. Moving over here, of course, Austin Theory and Vince McMahon, they had their little talk backstage. Austin Theory mentioned how Vince is going to be on the Pat McAfee show this coming Thursday, and he mentioned that it could go down pretty bad. Maybe Pat McAfee tries to jump him. It might not be a regular podcast. It could be very dangerous for Vince, because of course it's supposed to be Pat McAfee versus Vince McMahon at WrestleMania, which I could see something happening on the show. Austin Theory said, Vince said, no, it's not that type of interview. And then Austin Theory's like, it could be. And I don't know. Does he mean he's going to try to attack Vince, or what's going to happen? It could be Austin versus Vince at WrestleMania, but just this time a different Austin. Moving over here was another tag team match. It was RK-Bro going up against the Street Profits. This is a match I feel like we've seen multiple different times on multiple different occasions. The match was mid. It was okay. In the end, we saw Montez Ford. He was able to hit his high-flying frog splash on Randy Orton. And then Randy Orton, it actually looked like he was actually injured by this frog splash. I was like, oh crap, is Randy good? Montez Ford, a very delayed pinfall, by the way, goes in for the cover, pins Randy Orton 1-2, and Randy Orton tries to get his feet on the rope. Angelo Dawkins kind of blocks it, and then 3, and then the referee hits 3. I'm like, what? And then even Riddle Even Riddle looked confused. He was like, what the heck just happened? I was thinking the same thing. This had to have been a botched ending. There's no way this is how the ending was supposed to go down. It was just so odd. All the tag teams, or all the men in the ring were just so confused, including Riddle. This man had like the most confused look on his face. He's like, wait, did we lose? What the heck just happened? So I wasn't a fan of that match and the ending whatsoever. Moving over here, it was the United States Championship Open Challenge. Responding last week was Finn Balor, and this match was sick. This match was really good. I was into this. Priest versus Balor, not bad whatsoever. Finn Balor was able to hit the coup de grace in the end and win the United States Championship. I couldn't believe it. Finn Balor is United States Champion. I literally still can't believe it. This man goes from nothing, United States Champion. I couldn't believe it. Ever since he came back from NXT, he's just been nothing, and now he's United States Champion. I love it. I think it's awesome. Then right after the match, Priest grabs the microphone, starts talking trash to Finn Balor. I'm like, oh my God, Priest is turning heel. Priest is turning heel. He mentions the fans, typical heel fashion, lies, said that the fans didn't cheer him, which is such a lie. So Priest turns heel, takes out Finn Balor and brutalizes him, sends him over the announce desk. I'm like, oh my God, I like it. But then at the same time, I think Finn Balor's United States Championship win itself was a little overlooked because of Priest's heel turn. But like I said, it wasn't too bad. Finn Balor's United States Champion win is awesome. Priest is heel. I guarantee these two are going to fight at WrestleMania. They just need to enhance the rivalry just a little bit. Speaking of enhanced rivalries, Edge coming out. Who's my Mr. Opponent? None other than AJ freaking Styles. AJ Styles comes out. It's going to be AJ Styles versus Edge at WrestleMania. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Are they just going to end it with a handshake? Nope. Edge turns heel too. 2 heel turns. Priest. Edge. Edge turns heel on AJ Styles. I couldn't believe this one. This one shocked the crap out of me. Takes out Styles. And I loved the way that Edge did this. His heel turn was so good. He was like, you could just see the confliction on his face. Like, oh, should I do this? Should I not do this? It was just so good the way he did it. Hats off to this man, Edge. Literally, the man, you could just see it in his eyes. Like, oh my gosh, I'm on the verge of turning heel, and I know that. Am I doing the right thing? What should I do? And then he ends up doing the Chardunzo or whatever they call it. The concerto to AJ Styles. I'm like, oh my God, you're putting that match in jeopardy at Mania. What are you doing? But the match is going to be literally amazing. I'm very excited. I don't know why that didn't focus. But I'm very excited for Edge versus Styles. It ought to be really good. Will Edge lose again at WrestleMania? No, he beat Randy Orton at 36. But last year he lost to Roman Reigns. So will he win and get redemption this year against Styles? I hope not. I hope Styles wins. But yeah, guys, that was Monday Night Raw. It got me a little excited. The last hour wasn't bad. The United States Championship match, Edge and Styles. But as far as everything else goes, pretty freaking mid. In the end, I'm going to give this show a solid 2.5, I guess. A 2.5 out of 5. I only liked Edge, Styles, Priest, Balor. Everything else can go below, in my opinion. The opening match wasn't bad. But yeah, that was Raw. Setup style. And continuing the week in review here with SmackDown. SmackDown was okay. It started off with a banger. And we're going to jump into it. Sami Zayn versus Ricochet. They've been hyping this match up for the past, I believe, 2 weeks here. And we're finally getting it here at the opening match of SmackDown. So that didn't really give me too much hope. I'm like, Sami Zayn's more than likely going to retain, right? Match was alright. Beginning of the match started with some pretty near falls. Ricochet nearly got Sami Zayn multiple different occasions. Literally, it was 1, 2, long 3 count. I was like, oh my gosh. Barely almost picked off Sami Zayn multiple different times. But anyways, moving to the end of the match, Johnny Knoxville's music hits. And you guys know how I feel about Johnny Knoxville. I wasn't too fond to see him, you know what I'm saying? But he runs down, distracts Sami Zayn, and then Ricochet is able to take advantage and freaking Hurricane Rana and then turn it into like a pinning combination to pin Sami Zayn and become Intercontinental Champion. You guys heard me right. Ricochet is a champion in WWE. Can you believe it? The last time he was champion was like United States champion like 3 to 4 years ago. That's crazy. Ricochet is Intercontinental Champion, beating Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn only held the title for like a week, not even, maybe like a couple weeks. But dude, that's crazy. Ricochet is Intercontinental Champion due to Johnny Knoxville. So I gotta say hats off to Johnny Knoxville, even though I'm not the biggest fan of him. He did help Ricochet win the Intercontinental title, so hats off to him. Very happy. I've always wanted Ricochet to have another title here on SmackDown, and here we go. Ricochet's champ. I'm interested to see who's going to fight at WrestleMania, and then, of course, they announced Sami versus Knoxville at Mania, which I am not looking forward to it, but hey, it's not for the Intercontinental title, which is a blessing. Thank you. Moving over here, it was Drew McIntyre going up against Jinder Mahal. And this match was, as you'd expect. It was pretty freaking lame. Drew McIntyre was able to hit the Claymore kick on Jinder Mahal to pick up the victory. And then he basically just crashed the poker party of Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss backstage. They were having like a little poker game, and there was like a dartboard, and Drew McIntyre jabbed the sword through a dartboard to scare away Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss, because of course Happy Corbin versus Drew McIntyre, that's going to be the match for Mania, which I'm not looking forward to either. But yes, as far as all that, it was mid. Nobody wants to see Jinder versus Drew, man. Come on, dude. Moving over here, it was Naomi versus Carmela, one-on-one. Of course, WWE trying to build up Sasha and Naomi going up against Carmela and Selena Vega for WrestleMania. And by doing this, they're going to give us a one-on-one match, Carmela and Naomi. Match was mid. Carmela ended up losing with a split-legged moonsault from Naomi. And then Sasha and Naomi were able to reign supreme. It's going to be pretty cool to see Sasha and Naomi win the titles at Mania, though. That's like, I literally bet my YouTube channel that Naomi and Sasha win at Mania. That's a guaranteed. But as far as the match goes, it was just okay. Moving over here, it was Sheamus. Well, this was very odd. Okay, get this. It started off with Sheamus versus, I think it might have been Sheamus versus Big E, but it doesn't even matter because the match randomly gets cut off. So Kofi Kingston's messing around on the four-wheeler, right? Ridge Holland comes up from behind, nails him with a steel chair, and then just starts destroying the four-wheeler. I'm like, okay, so is the match still going on? What's happening? They steal the four-wheeler, they drive it up the ramp, they go to commercial break. I'm like, what? What? They go to commercial break, they come back from commercial break, and they say, oh yeah, during the commercial break, Ridge Holland and Sheamus destroyed the four-wheeler. Why wouldn't you have that? Why would you have that during commercial break? So crazy. Caught me insanely off guard. I'm like, why would you do... I mean, they showed them destroying it, but why would you do that during commercial break? I found that so odd. But yeah, anyways, they destroyed the four-wheeler, the wrecking little ATV that I got right here, and Ridge and Sheamus destroyed it this time. Not too bad. It was pretty cool to see them destroy the four-wheeler, but as far as like the match goes, what? Like... just so confusing. Moving over here. This was so odd, too. Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs are making their entrance, right? I'm like, okay, here we go. Seeing this entrance for the 30th time. Here we go. So I just kind of go on my phone. I'm like, okay, here we go with this entrance. And the Usos attack. I'm like, oh my God, what the heck? The Usos attack Shinsuke and Boogs, and then they enter Roman Reigns, and then they have their promo talking about Lesnar. So it goes from Shinsuke and Boogs to Roman and the Usos. What an upgrade. How crazy. And Brock Lesnar on Raw said he was going to make an appearance here on SmackDown. Nowhere to be seen. I couldn't believe it. Lesnar lied. We could call him Lying Lesnar. Can you believe it? He lied. He said he was going to be here on SmackDown, and he wasn't. Roman Reigns asked Miami to acknowledge him. They did. And he talked about how he's going to destroy Lesnar like he's did to multiple other superstars in the past at WrestleMania. It ought to be a good match. I'm looking forward to it. Promo was pretty good. It's always seeing it's always cool seeing Roman, the Usos, and Paul Heyman in the ring. It's literally the only good thing about WWE right now, in my opinion. But then, right after the promo, it turned into the Usos versus the Viking Idiots, one-on-one. And the Viking Idiots, like always, they always squander their opportunity for titles. They never win matches. So expect nothing less. The Viking Raiders lose again, because they always do. The Viking Raiders never win, because they always squander opportunities. They lost to the Usos. And yeah, I wasn't expecting them to win whatsoever. But yeah, as far as like all that transpiring, it was just crazy. Literally all madness. But yeah, but it was just okay. Moving over here. Well, actually, we'll jump into this. This was pretty crazy, actually. Okay. So Pat McAfee's on commentary. They're talking to Pat McAfee. Michael Cole's like, yeah, they were talking about the interview that he had with Vince, how like successful it was. And then he's like, yeah, I wonder who I'm going to face at WrestleMania. Austin Theory's music hits. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not watching Monday Night Raw right now. Why am I seeing Austin Theory? This is odd. So Austin Theory runs down, walks by the announcer's desk, and he's like, I'm your opponent for WrestleMania, Pat McAfee. And then he talks a bunch of trash, slaps him across the face, knocks his headset off, and then runs away. Takes some little selfies with him, and he's like, oh my God. And Pat McAfee's like, who is that guy? Which I found kind of funny. I thought that was pretty hysterical. Am I looking forward to their match at WrestleMania? I want to see more build-up first, and it ought to be pretty decent. I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. Main event of the show, Sonya Deville versus Ronda Rousey one-on-one. This match was okay. Ronda Rousey was able to tap out Sonya Deville. Tap. Sonya loses. Charlotte was on commentary, jumped in the ring after the match, and then Charlotte kind of just walked into Ronda Rousey, and Ronda Rousey locked in an ankle lock. I was like, what? Charlotte literally walked into Ronda Rousey. Look at the replay. She walked into Ronda Rousey. I was like, what? Why wouldn't you go with like more of a harder strike, like a big boot or like a takedown of some sort? Like, I found that odd, but yeah. And then Ronda took her out with the ankle lock, and yeah, it was an okay way to end the show. Ronda getting her first win here on SmackDown. But yeah, guys, that was SmackDown. WWE Sphere setup style. In the end, I'm probably going to give this show a solid 2 out of 5. It was cool to see Ricochet win the Intercontinental title. I love that so much. Hats off to the man. Well deserved. One of the best high flyers in the business. But yeah, guys, that has been SmackDown. That has been Raw setup style. SmackDown gets a 2 out of 5 from me. Let me know your ratings down in the comments down below. I'll see you guys next time. Smash the like in this video. Peace, guys. BrettO Live out.